Here we go.
Hey guys, what is going on? It's Cal and Sal. Thanks a lot, Sal, for that intro. I did not even know you play guitar.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I normally when I'm on the island, I'll pick up my ukulele, and I'll serenade my beautiful wife on the lanai. But I do have a guitar I bring here to the mainland. We put that, I stow it back in the Gulf Stream, back in the baggage compartment. I'll pull it out once in a while, and it just soothes my nerves. I've got some high pressure financial advice to give some of my clients, and it just helps calm my mind and help them make the right choice. Speaking of the right choice, how did we do last week?
Oh man, we killed it. Even you did, Sal. I gotta give the whole team props here at Game of Stones. Man, this is what you guys come for. This is why all you guys subscribe and ring that bell and that like button, man. Because man, we've been on point. Let's take a look at this chart here. We got
fantastic.
Let's go over what we did last week. So Cal continued his record-setting pace out here. He's up $232 on the season, starting at $500. That may not sound like huge returns, but keep in mind I'm not, I'm betting small amounts each time to limit my exposure. So like there was no chance I was going to go belly up. So I've made I think 7 of 8 bets correct. Basically every game I've called correct.
Cal, you've just been on fire.
I've been killing it.
And it's just plain to see looking here at the results.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go over what I did. So one bet that did get crossed out is my Cleveland Super Bowl long shot at plus 5,000. I think Cleveland showed themselves to be a worthy team of that bet. They almost won that KC game. I think if Mahomes stayed in, they probably had it. But Henne came in.
He was fantastic.
He came in. He closed that game out. He had that nice scramble to seal the game. And then on the 4th and 1, nice little throw to Tyreek Hill, who's unguardable. And I think if Henne's starting this week, that could be a dangerous team. But I don't know. It's up in the air with Mahomes. He'll probably play. I think he'll tough it out.
I figure he'll play.
Yeah, but regardless, I was really impressed with Henne, and that kind of proves my point that I think it's hard to rate Mahomes as a quarterback because I think any QB would succeed in that system with those weapons, and you kind of saw that with Henne as he closed out that game. And that's kind of been my hot take that I've been going on. That Mahomes,
you have been saying
Mahomes
that most
is overrated.
of the season.
I still have him as like a top 8 quarterback.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to put him in the top 5 when I see Henne do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Minus that one interception was kind of a terrible throw. But anyway, so I do have a lot of futures still live. I got Buffalo and Tampa. I thought about hedging this week, as you'll see coming up. But, the odds are, I think it's going to be a coin flip either way. I don't have a ton of money riding here. And the main point of hedging is if you can't stand to lose it, that's in general in investments or in betting. And I only got $50-$60 here on Tampa Bay. So I didn't feel the need to hedge, as you'll see soon. But going on to the divisional round, I had Buffalo over the Ravens. Taking the spread there because they were favored. You got plus 48. Green Bay also took. I just bet that straight up because you never know with those spreads. Got 63 there, and then Tampa Bay they beat the Saints and looked pretty good in that game, and I bet that at the plus 145 for getting $44 on 30. And then the Cleveland game, I still ended up positive, even though my long shot of them winning didn't quite pay off. But I still ended up making on the bet $8, I guess, on the combined position.
On the combined, okay.
Because I hedged against myself there.
Yeah.
And let's see what Sal did here. So Sal, you had a great week too. What can I
did
say?
have a great week.
You want to talk about your bets?
I rebounded. Well, why don't you go ahead and
I'll just recap them,
and
yeah.
I'll comment as necessary.
So your Super Bowl bet on Tampa still alive and well?
Yeah, I've still got a future out there.
And then as far as you did pretty similar bets to me, you did the Cleveland line versus KC because we knew Cleveland has that great running game.
We did. I've been high on that chubby fella.
They did end up
season
covering pretty easily as we expected. Almost pulled the game out.
And Baker played another fine game.
What do you think of Stefanski's play calling / timeout usage at the end of that game?
Oh, I was puzzled by that. Weren't you puzzled by that?
What
was he thinking?
I've liked Stefanski this season. I've kind of liked he's got a great culture.
You've been following him since he was with the Vikings.
Yeah. I didn't know if he was the problem or if it was Zimmer. I thought maybe it was the two of them together. But I think Stefanski's got to prove himself as a good coach through most of the season, with the exception of that game. You can't burn 2 timeouts in the fourth quarter
that was crazy.
For no reason. To run a running play, the next play, a 2-yard run, is what he called the timeout for. He could have done that without the timeout,
Right.
And, he punts on 4th and 9 when you're versus KC.
For a net gain of what, like 15, 20 yards?
20 yards, and it doesn't matter either way, So it's like, even if you don't make the 4th down, you end up you're going for a tie anyway. If they hit a 50-yard field goal, I hated the call there.
Yeah, I was not happy with that.
I think a lot of Cleveland fans felt that way too, but they did end up covering. So you made a good bet there. And then divisional round, you also had Tampa Bay straight up over New Orleans as the underdog and made a good profit there too. So you're actually almost back.
Yeah, I'm clawing my way. I had a disastrous opening weekend, and I'm clawing my way back now. I'm not plus. I'm not even back to start. Back to break even yet. But this weekend brings new promise for Sal.
Yeah. Speaking of which, before we get into actually, let's just go get into it now. We'll talk about some stuff right after. So our final conference championships bets before the Super Bowl. Both our futures obviously are still alive. We're not adding any new ones. And then as far as this week, these are tough games to call. I have these
really
both
tough games.
Pretty close to a coin flip, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's the way we felt about both these games.
So we got Buffalo, or I do. We're actually opposites on this, but I got Buffalo winning straight up over Kansas City. Just putting $20, a little teaser here.
Yeah.
I do, because I think this is pretty much a coin flip between the two teams, so I'm just taking the odds here at plus 145. If you ran this 10 times, I'd probably be slightly profitable.
Yeah.
But Sal, you're taking the line
well,
with KC.
I've just been watching this high-powered offense. I actually toyed with the idea of doing the over on this game. Just
I think
because
it's
I love both
53.5.
of these teams' offenses. They're both got incredible offenses. Can really produce. But then the more we talked about it, the defense tends to tighten up pretty substantially during playoff games. Especially
is that one of your clients calling right now?
That's that most likely. I told you I had some pressure on some decisions.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
here,
we got the Asian markets opening or closing soon, and so we've got some decisions to make. But hopefully this call will hang up on.
Well, we'll
us.
try to be quick. But sorry, I interrupted you because
no,
but
that's
go
okay.
on. You were saying you were toying with the idea of taking the over on the points.
I was toying with the idea of taking the over on the points, but as I said, these conference championship games, and we've watched a lot of these over the years, they tend to really tighten up. I don't know. I think it's the pressure. It tends to the whole team tightens up just a tiny bit. So I don't think the free flowing offense may not materialize. So I
wouldn't
shied away from the over,
especially with the weather in December. You never know.
Yeah,
or I guess in
know.
January.
So what I've done is I'm taking a little flyer on the Chiefs. I've just got them. I'm going to give the 3 points to Buffalo and take my chances. $110 bet on the Chiefs. Just on the really this is my nod to Tyreek Hill. Really.
He's unstoppable.
I think he's a difference maker. I see him providing that extra 7-point edge. I think I'm going to need for a 4-point, for a 7-point victory. I just feel at any moment he can,
take it 70 yards.
He can take it 70 yards, and I love the Buffalo team. Been high on them all season. Matter of fact, they were one of the teams I put some money in the opening weekend to go all the way, and lost my shirt on that. But anyway, your thoughts, Cal?
Well, no, I kind of agree with you. I totally understand it. The only reason I'm taking Buffalo is because I like the plus 145 in what I think is a coin flip. But I really think the difference here is I like Josh Allen a lot better than Mahomes as far as quarterback talent.
Yeah, well, you've been high on Josh Allen all season.
I have, but the weapons and the system in KC, I mean, they just live off those screen passes side to side. It's all 8-yard out routes. Mahomes plays that nice role as a game manager. He doesn't have to make any risky throws. They have low turnovers, and it's just let Tyreek Hill run for 15 yards every play.
Right.
And it's really hard to stop,
Right.
And you saw the same thing with Hannay last week. If he had just kept dinking and dunking like he did after the interception, it's really hard to stop that offense because Tyreek Hill can beat any corner in the league easily off the spot for 10, 15 yards every play pretty much if he catches the ball.
I absolutely agree.
And for that reason, it's terrifying to bet against KC. The only reason I'm doing it is because I just think Mahomes is prone to throw some terrible passes. He'll, he try because I think sometimes he gets to, the dink and dunk works all game, and if you just kept doing it, you probably win. But he's known for making 1 or 2 critical mistakes in these big time games, and we saw that earlier this season. He almost lost to some really bad teams on some throws. He just hasn't looked good this season to me, and I think that's the reason with the plus 145 and the difference between the quarterbacks. Even if the KC defense and weapons are 1,000 times better, I think at plus 145 I'm okay with it. Okay. So anyway, that's what we got here for this week.
We stayed away from the Packers and the Bucks. We stayed away from that game.
Yeah, we really did because it's just 2 excellent quarterbacks.
2 great quarterbacks. We love both of these
2 scrappy
teams.
defenses that kind of
we
are
love
hit or
Tom
miss.
Brady and old Sal. He's been a Packer fan for years. We love Aaron Rodgers has been incredible this season. Brady's been almost as incredible. Just stay away from this game.
Yeah.
They could go, and we've watched enough Packers. They can lose to anybody,
They can beat anybody. They lost 38-10 earlier this season versus Tampa. But
that's correct.
One last thing I wanted to touch on is the Drew Brees retirement. Phillip Rivers, great careers out of these guys.
Did Drew Brees actually retire?
Well, I think he's 99% going to retire. But he looked like a shot fighter. I think it was time for him. So happy he had a great career. But you could see in his eyes he was done.
Yeah.
And lastly, the Deshaun Watson trade. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, one of the comments I heard is that he considers himself in the top 5 of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Despite a 4-12 win and loss record for this year. So I don't know how a top 5 quarterback accomplishes that.
No, it's a state of delusion I've never even comprehended. Like how you could ever think that. Like you just went 4-12 with pretty solid weapons, a solid defense. Granted, very little running game. But 4-12, like Kirk Cousins is the top 5 quarterback with the worst coach in football and the worst defense in football. He still went 7-9 in a tougher division, way tougher. So it's one of the most absurd things I've ever heard, and I hate the NBAization of the NFL. If a Deshaun Watson type thinks he can just call the shots, say I'm done with this team, trade me. I don't want to see any more James Harden trades or any of these players that think they're bigger than the franchise.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
Especially after going 4-12 after such an abomination of a season out of yourself. Yeah, as a quarterback and myself, I've been, a professional and collegiate quarterback. Professional in a sense, not in the NFL, but lower division, semi-pro leagues. But you have to take responsibility for yourself. As a quarterback for going 4-12 because the ball's in your hand every play. It's just inexcusable to ever think he's in the conversation. And I have him as a bottom 10 quarterback right now.
Yeah, I know you've not been high on him.
It's just it's absurd to me. But anyway, that was my little rant at the end of this pod.
Well, Cal, you don't rant too often. I'm going to let you have this rant. But we better close it up. Our folks are busy. They got to get back to their lives. Thank you for listening. Good luck to y'all, to all of us this weekend.
We recommend a quiet week betting. These are both dangerous lines.
They're both dangerous lines.
Stay quiet this week.
Stay quiet. Keep your head down.
Yeah, this is a duck and cover type of week.
Duck and cover type of week. That's right.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out.